Just don't aim too high. Worry about the ball going out of frame. Don't aim too high. Don't worry about the center metering. You don't have to worry about it.
All right, day 3 at the Division III Baseball World Series was a complete washout. We got nothing in on Sunday, and we will try coming back again Monday morning on Memorial Day, starting at 9 a.m., and we'll see if we can get 4 games in. I'm Pat Coleman, joined by Jim Dixon, and Jim, it's been a little while since we've had an entire day washed out.
It really has been, and we had a little bit of rain that came by around noontime. If we had started early, we might have been able to get a game in. But that's hindsight, and my hindsight is 2020.
The thing is the committee was really focused on getting 2 games in today, or getting an even number of games, whether we could get 2 or all 4. Because the issue is really, of these teams that are sitting here playing, that would have been playing elimination games on Sunday, now on Monday, if one of those teams got that elimination game in, then they would have had an extra advantage as opposed to somebody else. If we hadn't played the second game, and we would have had, let's see, that would be Trinity and Emory coming back around on Monday to play their elimination game, then they would have had to play 2 games on Monday, whereas Frostburg or Ramapo winner would have had a day off. So they really wanted to try to keep things balanced, and since it didn't look like there was a window to get 2 games in, we ended up getting none of them at all.
Yes, and a couple years ago, Marietta had this problem where they came by, and every time they were playing, it rained. So they had to play 1 game one day and finish it the next, and they did it a couple times. And they managed to get through, and I believe they won the national championship that year.
So going back and looking through, of course, as a reminder, now we'll start at 9 a.m. on Monday with that elimination game between Frostburg and Ramapo, followed by the elimination game between Emory and Trinity of Texas. Frostburg and Ramapo winner will go on to play Cortland, and the Trinity Emory winner will play Wisconsin Lacrosse. Just like all of these other 4 game days, the game times are going to be packed really close together. So theoretically, we go 9 a.m., 12:15 p.m., 3:30, and then 6:45 Central. But of course, those times are going to float. We'll still have 50 minutes between games, and we'll see which of those games we can get in. Meanwhile, Jim, everybody gets an extra day of rest, but it's so early in the tournament that I don't foresee anybody coming back a day early here. We've still got to, that's only 2 days rest for people who pitched on Friday.
I don't think you're going to see anybody come back. If you're sitting in the shoes right now of the Ramapos, the Frostburgs, the Emorys, the Trinities, you're thinking we need 3 wins just to get to the championship series.
Whereas if you're Wisconsin Lacrosse, I'm looking back at what Jamison Sadowski did on Saturday night and thinking an entire day off does him and Lacrosse a whole lot of good. Maybe they're obviously not bringing back a starter, but that's a guy who's very important for them in relief, and maybe with the extra day off might be able to pitch.
I think it helps Lacrosse probably the most. It doesn't help Cortland at all because Cortland's bullpen is well rested. They've been able to get a complete game from their Game 2 starter, and then they just got nearly a complete game, 7 innings from LaMotta, and 2 innings out of a reliever. So Cortland is sitting pretty.
Let's take a look at some of the players before we go here who've had a good tournament so far. Obviously, everybody's played 2 games. And remember, Salisbury and Webster were eliminated already. So about the players who are still here, Joe Venturino having a great early going here for Ramapo, 6 for 9. I don't see there's Brandon Berger, 4 for 7 with 5 runs batted in. Ramapo had that struggle on offense against Frostburg, and then came back, battered Webster in the second game.
Well, Ramapo's All-American second baseman, Joe Venturino, was not any part of that problem. He had a 3-hit day on Friday. He had a 3-hit day on Saturday. And I expect that he's going to continue to hit the ball. Let's add in Connor Moore of Trinity, who leads the standings in RBIs, or runs scored, excuse me.
Yeah, he's 5 for 9 with 4 runs scored. He's joined by Carter McEachern, who's also hitting 404 for 8 in those 2 games. Cortland being led by Fabio Ricci, who's 3 for 5 in 2 games. Conrad Ziemendorf is hitting 500 as well. Vinny Bomasudo, 3 for 7. A bunch of guys having great tournaments so far for Cortland. And for Emory, Brett Lake hitting 500 so far, 5 for 8. And Wilson Morgan, who had those struggles in the outfield in the first inning of Game 2, is hitting 4 for 10 with 3 RBIs, 2 of them which gave Emory a chance to come back and at least push that game into extra innings on Saturday night.
One person here, when I'm looking down here, did have the minimum 5 plate appearance, and that's Greg Schneider out of Frostburg. He pitched the Game 1. He did well. He pitched a great game. He's hitting 500. It was 2 for 4 in game 2, so he's having quite a series as well.
So obviously we've got a lot more going on D3Baseball.com. Even though there weren't games played today, we sat down. We had about a half-hour conversation with Ben Shipp. He's the chair of the Division III Baseball Committee. We talked a little bit about the rain decision, and you can read some of that. That's been on the site all day. But come on back. By the time this video hits, you'll see our Q&A, our sit-down interview with him, because we talk extensively about a lot of things about Division III baseball, including how this pod system and this bracket might continue to evolve. This might not be the final format that the committee foresees it taking. What it might take to get a 3-round tournament rather than a 2-round tournament, regionals, super regionals, and championship, and how that actually might save the NCAA some money as opposed to what it's been so far for baseball, and it's done really well in softball. We'll talk about the committee's reaction as to how the regional teams were changed around in their lineups or in their alignments for the first weekend of the tournament, and we will talk a little bit about some other things as well. So, look for that interview. You will see it on the front page of D3Baseball.com. For Jim Dixon, I'm Pat Coleman. A washout in day 3. We'll try it again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
That's a warning, coach. Next person is out.